It would seem that on devices with a large display diagonal is quite convenient to play together, but this kind of game is quite a few. But, in this video, I will show you some best free split-screen games for Android. So without any further ado, let's start this video. The first game of this video is Badland. Many people are familiar with this game because it has received many awards and positive feedback from players. You play the role of a forest dweller, a mysterious creature with wings. You can control it by touching on any point of the display. The more you press, the more force it takes off. The game captures with its friendly gameplay and the atmosphere created by the graphics and music. The multiplayer mode is quite advanced, up to 4 players on one device. In this case, the screen is divided into several visual zones to control each individual character. The most interesting thing is that all the characters interact with each other. Next up we have Player Reactor. It's a game of reaction and ingenuity. There are 18 different modes available for many players. Pay attention, think fast, react, and be smart. The essence of the game is to press the button faster than the opponent if the condition shown on the display is correct. The interface of the game is quite simple, even too simple. But this does not prevent it to be quite fascinating because you are playing with a live person. Version for 2 players is free. For real money you can buy the version for 4 players and new modes. Next up we have SeaBattle 2. This game does not need a wireless connection. You only need to sit next to a friend who also does not mind spending time in the cult game. The project supports multiplayer in the game with bots, but to fight on one display is much more interesting. Yes, and you can see the arrangement of ships. The gameplay is quite simple and clear. In this regard, the developers have almost nothing to change. The player places the ships on the battlefield and then chooses different bonuses. After that, you pass the smartphone to a friend, and he also places ships as he wants. Next up we have GlowHockey 2. This game also went into release quite a long time ago and hasn't changed much since then, although the fans are not disappointed at all. The project is extremely simple and clear. The playing field is divided into 2 parts, each player has his own half, and he cannot go to half of his opponent. Besides, each player has a goal in which to score a virtual puck. There are no extra rules or conditions. In 2-player mode, but GlowHockey 2 reveals itself completely. Real gamers don't think like bots. Next up we have IceRage Hockey. This is a hockey game in which you can fight with another live player. The gameplay is as simple as possible. There are 2 goalkeepers and 2 forwards on the field. Depending on the game mode, you can only control the forward or both the goalkeeper and the forwards. If you find it difficult to control the movement of a player, there is a simplified control. In this case, the movement of the player will be controlled by artificial intelligence, and you only need to press the button on time to hit. Next up we have FruitNinja. There is no doubt that FruitNinja is a legendary game. The project was released in the distant 2010. But to this day gamers all over the world are actively driving their fingers on the display to cut fruit and not to blow up a bomb. The gameplay is as simple as possible. It is even harder to come up with, but the game is fascinating from the first second. If in the standard modes, the player has access to the entire display and the fruit needs to cut with a wide range of movements. Then in the local cooperative mode on one display, the field is divided into 2 halves, each of which is reserved for 1 player. Next up we have Feist. This is another legendary game, which at the time of release has collected as many awards and prizes as possible for the mobile project. The developers took as a basis very simple mechanics, although at that time it had no competitors, and drew an atmospheric virtual world. Thanks to that, Feist won gamers and brought its authors fame all over the world. In the game, you need to manage virtual characters that look like furry spots. In a single mode, the user's finger controls all the characters at once, but you can connect a friend and he will be responsible for his pet. Next up we have 12 MiniBattles. The authors of 12 MiniBattles decided to create 12 games in one, so that gamers could play the projects they are interested in without downloading anything extra. Competitions in the game are fundamentally different from each other, but they are all fascinating. In the main menu, the player chooses what game he wants to start now, after which the battle begins. For example, you can play football, a team of 1 player, the goal on the opposite side of the display, and need to score a goal to the opponent. Or you can play a duel on revolvers, training the reaction and accuracy of shooting. So that's the list of 8 best free split-screen games for Android. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel Geek and press the bell icon for more gaming videos.